Gettysburg Fire Rescue, or GFR, is a typical factor rating scenario. You can tell just by looking at the data. Gettysburg Fire Rescue is considering 3 different locations for a new fire station. Well, using factor rating, there's a big hint right there. GFR has created the following table. Now, this is what I mean by, even if they hadn't said that, you could see that this was a factor rating study shaping up. Because what do we have? We have a series of candidate locations. They're already identified. Oh, that's what the columns are. The rows are, you see a list of features, attributes, or factors that apparently GFR considers important in picking the location for a fire station. For instance, the cost of the land, the accessibility, and the size of the land. Factor rating, because then in the center of the table you see that there's all these scores. Now, speaking of the scores, this is an important fact. We do have to be careful about this. When rating these locations, GFR uses a 5-point scale where 1 means unfavorable, 5 means excellent. So the larger numbers are better. That's just always good to know. All right, now, what are the questions here? Well, let's see. First part of the scenario. Oh, it's all interpretational. Okay. Which of the following statements is true and which are false? The cost of the available land parcel is of the greatest importance in this analysis. Now, how do I test that statement? It has to know with knowing where to look for the answer. First off, what is it asking about? The cost of, the available land parcel. That's up here. Is of the greatest importance. Right. What is another feature of factor rating? The decision makers have listed out what they consider important. The factors. They have then assigned weights to reflect relative importance, because very often there's some certain factor that's more important than some other factor. The more important factor will have the higher weight. Now, so if the cost of the land parcel is the most important factor, when we scan these numbers right here, we expect to see it will have the highest number assigned to it as a weight. I'm looking. No, it doesn't. That has to be false. All right, that one's false. Next one. Location 2 has better accessibility than location 3. So what I need to do is locate the accessibility scores for these 2 locations. That would be right here, 2 and 3. If location 2 has better accessibility than location 3, they said that larger numbers are better. That means that location 2 will have a higher score there than location 3. It does not. Oh, that's false as well. Well, maybe what about this last one? GFR considers the size of the available land parcel, okay, to be the least important factor. That means that when we find that factor, size of the available land parcel, if it's the least important, it will have the smallest numerical weight assigned to it. Notice that it does. That one's true. Huh, all right. That was easy. We did that one. What else do they want to know? According to the analysis above, above if you were working in the book, where will GFR locate the new fire station? Oh, we have to actually complete the factor rating analysis, because what was the point of gathering all that data up into a table? It was to compute the weighted scores of each location. Now, the weighted scores of each location, you calculate it by summing up the weight associated with each factor times the score that the location earned for that factor. Good thing there's some extra room beneath this table in the note frame, because that's convenient. Let's just set up a row for weighted score. Settle down there. Weighted score. Okay, weighted score, the weight associated with the factor times the score associated with the factor, plus the weight associated with the factor times the score plus the weight times the score. Oh, so like for instance in the case of location 1, I would say 0.3 times 4, which is actually 1.2. I'd say 0.5 times 5, so that's actually 2.5. And I'd say 0.2 times 1, which is 0.2. And then I would add these up. 1.2 plus 2.5 plus 0.2. It's where I come to the conclusion 3.9. Yes, we would say in this factor rating study, the weighted score associated with location 1 is 3.9. Now, I need to compare that to the other ones. So I just repeat that particular formula. In the case of location 2, 0.3 times 2 plus 0.5 times 2 plus 0.2 times 5, I get 2.6. Okay. For location 3, 0.3 times 1 plus 0.5 times 4 plus 0.2 times 3, I get 2.9. Now, it had asked, where should they locate according to the study? What are you looking for? Larger numbers are better? You're looking for the higher score. And I see that the highest score here is for location 1. That's the answer. That's the answer to that question. Location 1. Or Southwest 34th Street, according to the table. Okay, so then that one's answered. What's this? Some additional information. Suppose Mira at GFR said that the current weights given to the factors in the table above are wrong. Okay, she's talking about these weights right here. Okay, saying those numbers aren't good. Now, what would she rather see instead? She said that there isn't any difference between the cost of the available land parcel and the size of the available land parcel. Okay, there's no difference in importance. Basically, the two factors are equally important. But according to Mira, the accessibility factor is 3 times more important than either of the other two factors. According to Mira, what weight should be given to each of these 3 factors? So, what she's saying is these numbers she does not agree with, the 0.3, the 0.5, and the 0.2. She's saying cost and size of the land parcel are equally important. That means in her weighting scheme, there needs to be the same number here and the same number here. She's saying that accessibility is 3 times more important than either one of these, which means whatever number here needs to be 3 times whatever number is here or here. And notice the weighting scheme adds up to, if you were to sum this up, adds up to 1. So we need a new weighting scheme that likewise adds up to 1 that fits her description. I'll show you a easy way to do that. I need to, because we're working on another sheet of paper, let's see, list the factors again. I'm just going to write cost of land for the top one in the table, accessibility, and size of land. Okay, it was just a simple list. Step 1, to create Mira's weights. Step 1 is, and this would work for any problem, look at your list of factors, think of what's been described, and identify the absolute least important factor. Okay, there's only 3 factors. The absolute least important factor, well, it's a tie for last place, because she says that these 2 things are equally important, so they'll have the same weight, and that this one's like vastly more important. Oh, which means that it's a tie for last place between these 2. Fine. If there's 1 or more than 1, whatever's the least important, temporarily give it a value of 1. I'm just temporarily assigning it a value of 1. Okay. Now, proceed. This other one, accessibility, what was said? Oh, well, it's 3 times as important. Fine. Temporarily assign it a value of 3. Or basically 3 times 1. It's 3 times as important as either this or that. Now, add up those numbers, like whatever numbers you eventually wind up getting. Well, it adds up to 5. Great. Because here's the new weighting scheme. The original 1 divided by 5, or, on the calculator, 0.2. The original 3 here divided by 5, or 0.6. And the original 1 here divided by 5, 0.2. There's her weighting scheme. Her weighting scheme, cost and size of the land parcel are equally important. They have, notice that, the same weight associated to them. And accessibility is 3 times as important as either of them. 0.6 is 3 times larger than 0.2, the value that's assigned to the others. That would work for her. Okay. Oh, last question. Given the new set of weights expressed in Part C of this scenario, now where should GFR locate the new fire station? Well, that would require us to go back to this, and what we're saying is, no, those are wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. According to Mir, it's 0.2, 0.6, and 0.2. Okay, fine. I just need to recalculate the scores. So I'm going to make another row. How about Mira's scores from Mira's weighting system? Okay, so in the case of location 1, 0.2 times 4 plus 0.6 times 5 plus 0.2 times 1. Oh, it kind of bumped its score up a little bit. I get 4. For location 2, 0.2 times 2 plus 0.6 times 2 plus 0.2 times 5. Interesting. Different numbers over here. Coincidence. Didn't make any difference. Location 2 still has a score of 2.6. Oh, all right. Now, last one. 0.2 times 1 plus 0.6 times 4 plus 0.2 times 3. I get 3.2. So the score went up on location 3. The question is now that we're using this new weighting scheme, which location would we locate at? Oh, that's ironic. New weighting scheme. Same old choice of location. Location 1 still has the highest score. Even under the new weighting scheme? Fine. That's the answer. GFR should locate the new station at location 1, Southwest 34th Street.